Hello, everyone. My name is Stephanie. So for this assignment, um, let's start with chapter 6, and I chose experience, and this translates to me as previous exposure to something. Um, this could fire back because when we learn something a certain way, we could be set on our own ways and not to relearn. So some can be very stubborn and set in their ways and always do things as they've originally learned it and not flexible to unlearning something. So some can be opposed to that, to relearning the material and not being flexible. Adults have memory and depth of experiences to draw on and apply new learning. So they have diverse experience and knowledge with those with past experiences. They may have ingrained ideas about things from previous experiences, which can backfire, as I explained. Um, if they've had past exposure or experiences, they've had problem solving um, methods to cope with. So they can use their past experiences and they can use it to problem solve future problems. If they've had firsthand experience with a certain topic and they remembered how to do something in the past, then it may be easier for them to solve the problem. They use critical thinking and reflection, and then just a refinement of skills, even. So I chose for chapter 7 real world learning examples. And I believe this goes hand in hand with experiences for myself when I did several internships and worked in clinics. When it came to applying skills, I had firsthand experience prior to formal education. So I saw a black and white difference between students who had prior experience in the field and students who did not have experience in the field. You could see it clear as day, and I felt that it wasn't it you like I felt like students who didn't have past experiences, I didn't feel like they couldn't do it. You could clearly see that there was a learning curve that they had to go through in order to get comfortable with the environment and the material. So I think if you have a prior experience in any subject, you're going to be a little bit more comfortable with the material. You can kind of bypass the learning curve. If it's something that you need to relearn, you have to have the flexibility to unlearn it and then relearn it maybe a different way, if that maybe. Um, so where was I? So rather those who had skills, they were more comfortable to applying the material. So I think you can bypass that learning curve there. An example personally for me and how I apply this, as I mentioned, as I did my internships in clinic, I worked side by side in dentistry with patients for 6 years prior to formal education. And so when I got to my formal education in dentistry, I was very comfortable with treating patients and handling them and patient management and everything that comes with that. And so the students that didn't have prior experience, I could tell that they were a little bit nervous, uncomfortable. They didn't really know how to talk to patients formally, like from provider to patient. And they got through it no problem. I had no doubt in their ability to do so, but I bypassed that learning curve. And other students that were my classmates that had prior experience, they also bypassed that because we already had the training. We already were comfortable with everything on that subject matter. And so I think it's a benefit if you have a prior experience to a certain topic. I think even in classrooms, it's important to give students like a prior heads up on material so they can get familiarized with it. So it's not something so much foreign, and that can remove educational anxiety for some. Thank you.